Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Thanks for coming in tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. So tonight I am getting back to the improv blocks again for the back of my Splendid Sampler quilt. So we'll be making one more of these. I am down to my very last scraps. I was going to work on this weekend a little bit over the holiday vacation, but I got a surprise visit from my brother, so we hung out with him the whole time, and it was very lovely. I only get to see him twice a year or so that was super fun. But, so tonight we're doing this instead of sewing the larger quilt together. So I have all my scraps kind of laid out. I'm doing them just in strips. I just lined up every last scrap that I have by size. And then I'm going to just sew them together in little strips. So it'll come together kind of like this, where we just pick a bunch of same size things and sew them together. I think that was fun. We did this one other time with these improv blocks, and I think it's kind of neat. So let's do that again tonight. Thanks again for coming in. If you could just let me know if you can hear me, if everything's okay, and we'll keep going here. Thanks again, guys. I'm going to flip you around. Oh, if you're new, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery, and I'm here every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Central. Oh, I missed you too, Linda. Hey, Sherry. Okay, so we seem like the sound and the feed is going well tonight, so perfect. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around. We'll get going. Hey, Libby. Hey, Susan. Okay, great. You guys can hear me. Hi, Joe. I missed all of you, too. All right, let's get going. So you can see, hi, Internet. So you can see I've lined up all my remaining pieces. This is it. This is it for the scraps. There's nothing else. I just kind of lined up all of them that are similar sizes. Like this is a pile of skinny ones. These two were about the same width. Same with all these. I thought I'd just sew them into strips, see what I got, and I'll fill in all the blanks with some more of this fabric that I have, a little bit of, and we'll just see what we get. I suspect it'll be something like this block, where we took similar width things and just kind of sewed them together in stripes, which is kind of fun. I like the look of it. Good way to finish all these scraps. I can't believe I'm done. Almost done. So I think tomorrow, I'm not quite sure how we'll do it yet, but I'm going to have to start sewing big pieces together to form a quilt. So I will see what that's like. Maybe I'll work on it a little during the day, and we can get some big pieces ready. So we'll see. All right. I am going to, lost a piece already. Let's start up here. I think I'm already messing it up. There we go. I have a little, kind of a dark flying goose there. Let's start. I'm just going to do each row individually just so I don't mess it up. But then maybe I'll iron them all at once. We'll see. Oop, machine's already on. So has anyone started the new round of the Splendid Sampler? I'm excited that it's starting up again. I'm just jumping to the bottom and grabbing these two squares. Because then I can take my 1 and 2 pieces off and add the third piece here to it. So I'm trying to do it in as little moves as possible, kind of. I think that looks good there. Alrighty. And actually, to continue the least amount of moves possible, I think I'm going to start on the next row while I'm finishing this row. So luckily I have it all laid out here, so I think I'll be able to remember what goes where. It's kind of like when we're, with the Splendid Sampler, when we're sewing together one of those 9 patches or something, and I have to remember remember the order everything goes in. All right, so here's the one piece where we started, and then these bottom pieces. Woo, you got all your blocks together. Libby, congrats. That is so exciting. I think I had this way, but I kind of like, I like it that way. I think I like it like this. It doesn't really matter. That's a big feat to get all the blocks sewn up. Pretty awesome. Oop, I need a little help pushing that guy through. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, so S-E-O-S-E-W, I mean. So cute. Fun. All right, so this was from that new row. Let's do the bottom two pieces. I'm gonna probably end up confusing myself, but let's see what we can do. I'm gonna try and do the best I can to continue chain piecing and not to have to do an ender like this again, or a leader and ender. All right, so this is that first row. We will press that and then trim it up all nice. I gotta start the next row here to release this guy so I can sew to that. Okay, next size pieces. Wow, it's sticking out of my sleeve here. Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but it got cold again here. I was stuck inside all day because it was just so chilly. I suppose I could have put a big coat on and gone out, but how depressing. I want it to be just nice and spring. Ooh, but we, when my brother was here, he helped us a ton on our garden. So our garden is just about done. Well, it's planted. So it's completely planted. We might plant some pole beans later in the season. We had to dug up all the dirt. We had to dig up all the grass, the lawn, to make room for another garden. So we have a pile of that grass, and we're trying to shake off all the dirt from it. Here's that row too. And so that grass pile is where we want the beans to eventually be, but we gotta shake off all the dirt first. I'm missing a few comments. Been getting a lot of sewing done. Ooh! Oh, and your fiance is town, so he can't bug you. There you go, Sherry. That's awesome. Sounds like only one block a week. Yep, there's Joe. That's exactly right. Trying 2 a week with everything else wasn't easy. Oh, yeah, Joe, I'm with you. So with the new Splendid Sampler, it's starting up again. The new one is only one new block a week. So that's different than how the Splendid Sampler was for if you started with the PDFs. If you stitch it with me or watch these videos and are stitching it, then you've probably done the first round. The next round is only one at a time, and that one's fun. Look at all the crazy happening in there. It's one at a time. We can sew these together. Maybe once, or maybe a couple during the week, but mostly just one during the week. So there's kind of more breathing room to finish your blocks. I know it was, when we did ours, it was 2 blocks a week, and man, on some of those blocks, that got pretty tough to finish. And, that's why I have blocks done in all different orders and stuff too, just because we, sorry, I'm confused now. Oh yeah, this is my 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And I'm going to sew this guy to here. Okay. But the blocks, we had 2 blocks and it was tough to get them done sometimes. So I think it'll be a little more relaxed with doing the one a week. But yeah, it really is amazing. You know, we pushed ourselves and we did manage to get all the blocks finished, and I'm pretty psyched that we were able to do that. This is a big project, and for me at least, big projects are sometimes a little tough to stick with, but we're doing it here. This is my last little bit, just finishing up the back of the quilt. I mean, then it's home free, I think. Once I have the back done, then I'm in final stages, and I feel like I'm in the final stage zone once I have the back of the quilt done, because then it's just sandwiching it, quilting. Well, quilting will take a little while, but after quilting is the binding, which is the best part. We gotta finish it up. I love that part. I know not everyone likes the binding, but man, I just think it's the finishing touch of it all. And you know it's the last step, so besides maybe washing it if you're gonna wash your quilt. I don't know, I'm pretty stoked. Alright, here's our strip so far. It's looking crazy, but I like it. Alright. I might be moving these around, like I might have had them out in a different order, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm just making strips. I don't have to keep any order to them. Alright, this is the bottom piece, but to get this off, I need to start the next row of sizes. I was going to keep a few little single squares, but I figured I have a few like smaller ones of these done, so I can pepper these in within the big part of the quilt. So I'm not going to worry too much about having like a little single piece here and there. And I'm sure other little pieces might pop up here and there anyway. Like I might find a big enough piece in my teeny tiny scraps bag or something. All right, this is the start of the new row. I think I like it that way. I like with the light part on top. Itty bitty squares. All right, that concludes this row. Look how long this is. So we're gonna have to come up with a way to make some of these, like this isn't that long, so we'll have to fill it in with some stuff, which will be kind of fun. But those are the 3 rows so far. Let's keep going. This is row 4. I should maybe stitched a little further down because this is the top part, and it would have been better if I stitched these first, then that would have been released. I don't know, it's a whole maze to try and figure out the most efficient way to sew. Oh man, we have a rabbit though trying to get in. Like it's searching out ways. It's just searching around the edge of. It's patrolling the edge of the garden to try and find a weak spot. So I think every day I'm gonna have to just go out to the garden and just walk around the edge and see if he got in or not. See how that goes. I think I saw a teeny tiny little bunny that he had too. Oops, I think I'm missing a bunch of your comments. Hold on. Yeah, I know it would take like a longer to do blocks to do them 1 a week instead of 2 a week. Oh, sorry, I totally missed a bunch of your comments, but I think I got them. Okay, I do sew mine by hand. Well, I do my binding. I sew the binding. I do that flip method, so I sew the binding onto the back. I think it's called a French binding or something like that. But I sew the binding onto the back, and then no. I sew it to the front, and then I flip it over to the back, and then I hand stitch the back. So that's the method I'm going to use. I've done it before where you make like a bias binding and then or bias strip and then sew both sides all at once with the machine. I've done that once, and I've done it where I've cut you can also do it where you cut the background larger and then roll the background over so your background actually becomes the binding. I think we did that on here once with a quilt. I did that slash quilt. Do you guys remember that? Some of you might have not have been here yet. But before the Splendid Sampler, I worked on a quilt here where I made the whole quilt and then I slashed it and then sewed it back together, and that was kind of fun. A neat little experiment. All right, these are a pile of teeny tiny pieces. I like experimenting with crafting. That's kind of my main deal with crafting is just figuring out what to do, or just like playing with ideas, coming up with ideas and testing theories and all that, versus picking like a project that I know everything about already. Like, I want to learn while I do it. I didn't plant any annual flowers. My feed isn't progressing very well on the comments on here. So sorry if I'm late in commenting today. I didn't plant any annual flowers. We totally went vegetable everything. So we even we put vegetables in our. I'm gonna put this strip here. We put vegetables in our front pots. The not front pots. What do you call those? Those windowsill things. Oh dang, what are those called? The window pots. I don't know. The things that hang below the window outside. Those we planted herbs and stuff in. So I did chamomile. I wanna pick chamomile for chamomile tea this year. Last year we did chamomile and we grew a ton of it, but I never picked any of it. Window box, that's it. Thanks, Libby and Gina. Man. But I did chamomile last year and didn't pick any of it. And now I want to make sure to pick it. I looked up best practices for, I don't remember what order these went in, but best practice, or like how to harvest chamomile. And you're supposed to pick them whenever there's a new flowering bud, like even like kind of before it flowers. So you got to pick all of those and then you let it dry. So I have to make a little thing that I can let them dry on, and then that's it. Then you got chamomile tea, really. And I guess if you keep picking it all summer, it'll keep blooming. Like, you're not gonna make it stop blooming by picking the chamomile flower. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just need to be more active with the garden. That's what I want to do this year. Just pay more attention to it. We pay more attention to it a little bit more every year, but there's always a point where, I don't know, we go on vacation or something happens and I forget about the things that we aren't watering. We have soaker hoses for the main garden, but I gotta do the window boxes by hand. We have some herbs in some other places too. But I don't know. Little by little, hopefully becoming a little better gardener. piece right in the middle. So these got to get trimmed quite a bit because, oh, I put this guy in. I didn't mean to do that. I have this guy here yet. Man, that was instinct. I just grabbed my leader and put it in here, but I didn't need to do that yet. Now I do. This is the last piece. Gets too hot and then you lose interest. You know what? Maybe that's what it is. Well, and now it's too cold. It's like, ugh, I don't want to go out there and do that. So I didn't do that today. But it's been so wet, too, that I don't think they quite need water yet. It's pretty soaked in those window boxes still. All right, here are the stripes. This is all of them. So this is it for pieces. I'm going to press them all and trim them all, and then we'll kind of decide how we want to puzzle piece this together. I do have a bunch of this fabric, this square fabric, to fill in spaces as needed, and I even have some that are, you know, probably the right size strips already. But first, let's give that a press on the keys. A press and a trim. That is the plan. My iron might need to wake up again. Ooh, all these triangles. All the half square triangles. Oh man, the robins are loving the garden though. The robins have been, since we're digging up the grass, we've exposed many, many worms, and they have been going nuts. It's like their favorite place in the world now, the robins. John was even, the other morning, he dug up some worms because he was working on the grass. Making dirt, that's what we're calling it, because we're letting the grass that we took off the surface and letting it dry a little, and then shaking it off so we can use the dirt still. But he made a huge amount of dirt, and he found a worm in there, and he tossed it to the robin, and the robin ate it and flew away. So he was like feeding robins the other day, which I thought was just so cool. But yeah, robins are liking it. Squirrels have figured out how to get in, but I don't think they're a threat to the kale, which is the problem. So far, so good on the squirrels. It's just those rabbits, and they've been searching. They've been peeking in and making the rounds around the fence, but they haven't figured it out quite yet. So that's good. I hope they lose interest, which seems unlikely, but who knows. This is a fun strip. Had a lot of half-square triangles in there. All right, 2 more, and then we gotta puzzle piece these together somehow. I'm just pressing them all to one side because it's easy to press like this. Oh, do I go to SR Harris? So SR Harris is a fabric store near me. It's about a half hour. It's about 40 minutes away or so. I haven't been there in a while, but we've been talking about it a lot lately, so maybe I'll have to head down there sometime soon. But it's kind of this giant warehouse of fabric. Just rolls and rolls and rolls of fabric with no, like, reasoning behind it, really. It's, you know, you can buy quilting weight cotton, but then you can buy, like, fabric to make, like, saris out of, and just, they have leather, and it's all kind of discounted. So I think they just buy up a bunch of fabric that places are getting rid of, and then they sell it cheaper there. It's kind of crazy. It's a huge, huge warehouse, and it feels like a warehouse. Like, it's gray and, you know, super tall ceilings and everything, but it is such a place. It's such a fun place to go. It's kind of a destination will they have a group doing the blocks together like you did for the Splendid Sampler? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, Diane. I mean, for me, for these videos, I'm just doing them. So I do have a block with the Splendid Sampler, but I wasn't asked to do these videos or anything, so I'm just doing them. I think they're going to keep up the Facebook group, and that's like a huge area to ask people questions and all that. So there will be that still, the Splendid Sampler Facebook group. So if you are not on there, definitely join. People are very, very nice, and you can be a novice and ask your questions and all that, and people will be nice to you. No one's gonna, quilt police you or anything. It's a very great group. I will be doing a few of the blocks live probably again. I don't know which ones. I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear, or by want, really, I guess. And we'll see how that goes. But I won't be doing all the blocks again. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't heard if anyone's going to do every single block live or anything like this. I don't know. Oh, will somebody be teaching them? Well, there'll be the blog posts about it and all that. And my videos are available still on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube. So I know a lot of people have been referring people to those, which hopefully is helpful seeing some of those videos. So it will be kind of the videos. It will be the videos that I've already done. So the blocks aren't changing. It's the same blocks. There may be a new bonus block here and there, but I didn't film any of the bonus blocks just because I had enough. It was enough time for me to get the main blocks done. I didn't have time, or I didn't put in time to do the. Let me start down here. To do the bonus blocks. But so all my videos will be relevant still because they are the same blocks. But no, there'll be the blog posts still. I'm guessing they'll put those up, or links to where the designers for the individual blocks kind of talk about their blocks, and a lot of them have how-tos. And then, yeah, any questions can for sure always be asked on the Facebook group. They're great for answering questions, everyone there. But is assigning a specific page of the book each week, so there will be a lot of people working on the same blog at the same time. Yep, and people are very helpful. Exactly that, Linda. Those are the blast block last year already. Yes, so, okay, so yeah, so that's a good point. That everyone is still going to be doing. People can work on whatever block they want, but for the stitch along, they're going to kind of announce, hey, we're going to work on this block next. It's on page 50 of the book. So if you go that route, you'll know all the blocks already because they're all in the book. But if you want to stitch along with everyone else, then you can follow along. So they'll be like, okay, we're doing this block now, and everyone, or a whole pile of people, like thousands of people, will be making that same block. So if you have any trouble with it, you can go to the Facebook page. You'll see everyone else's blocks that they're posting there, and you can ask questions there. Diane, it is. I have a link in my description for this Facebook for the Splendid Sampler website. That is the website. However, if you go to the Facebook page, I'm sure they have a link on the website. So I would just do it that way. Go to the website and find the Facebook link. Otherwise, if you're on Facebook and you type in the Splendid Sampler, just what Linda said there, the Splendid Sampler, it'll pop up. And then I think you still have to click join, but then they'll let you join. It might take, an afternoon or something for them to click OK on that, because that's how groups work. You have to go through the join process. All they do is click OK. but that is worth it. Facebook group, for sure. For sure, sure. And it's so fun to see how the same block can look so different just by changing the fabric up and little details here and there that some people like doing. But it's really kind of fun. And people have all sorts of great ideas that are helpful for the different blocks. It really is a nice community to learn, and you won't feel alone there for sure if you ask questions and stuff. Not at all. So I definitely recommend joining the Facebook group. All right, we have one more. Ooh, little stray piece in there. One more little bit here. Then we got a puzzle piece that's yet. Oh, they'll miss out if they don't find the videos. Oh, that's so sweet, Marjorie. So much fun doing with you and learn so much. Oh, I appreciate that a ton. And I mean, like, I learned, if you've watched all these videos, you know, like, especially watching the later ones from the beginning ones, you know that I've learned just a ton from you guys as well throughout this whole process. I wonder if these kind of became the same size. I think I might sew these together. Because then I'll have this big strip here. I think I'm going to do that. Let's sew those together. Oh, Linda, that's awesome! I appreciate that a ton. But yeah, it's been really neat. People have been recommending the videos when people get stuck on something, and I just think that's cool. I mean, it really, video is so helpful, I think, as a learning tool. And some people might not want to sit through all of these lives. I mean, it's real time, all of this. It's not like an edited, you know, thing, but I don't know. I think there's something fun about that. You see the whole process and all the mistakes and the questions and all that. Oh, you watched them all? I was so sad we finished. Marjorie, me too. I'm hanging on to it with these little that I'm not quite done with the back of the quilt, but yeah, it's weird that the front of the quilt is just done. Wow, these two strips are like exactly the same size. That's awesome. I'm gonna just sew them together like that. And this one, we just need a little bit on top. This one, and then we got this spare. I might just leave this one. Maybe this will be like my floating square somewhere. I think I'm gonna just let this one be, and we'll just work with this. So here's my plan. I have, you guys can't see all of it. Oh, thanks, Susan. So these two are like just about the exact same. So I'm gonna sew those together right off. And then it's a little shorter than this one. So I might sew one little bit, like one little bit of this blue on top to equal it out. And then this one needs a whole pile of blue on it yet. So we'll see what I got for pieces. Actually, this might be just the right size right there. We'll see how that goes. What order should I go in? Smallest to largest? Kind of fun. Let's just do that. All right. Sewing. My husband's laughing at me. That's what they're there for, I suppose. All right, let's sew this together. All right, I'm gonna get the stiletto in here to help tuck these little seam allowances under. So I definitely will do a few blocks here and there, and maybe we'll play with them a little bit, like make some other stuff out of them, like some bags or something else. I might even make some and do giveaways for what I make with them. So we might have fun in that sense too. We'll see. That'd be kind of fun. Because I'm getting to the point that I want to keep making stuff, but then I like the making of it, but a lot of times I'm like, now what do I do with this? I've like, here's another bag that I made. I don't really need another bag, but it was sure fun making it. Let's sew these together right now. So I think, yeah, we'll do some giveaways of some of the stuff that we make on here. But yeah, and then I want to start up some new projects, some new stitch-alongs, some new embroidery stitch-alongs. We'll do those. Those might be earlier in the night, but I will definitely keep going with these evening, look how skinny this is, these evening scopes, these evening Facebook Lives. I'm still calling them scopes from back in Periscope land. I think I'm going to press this before moving on. I'll press this one too. Yeah, so we'll just see what we come up with. So if there is something that you'd like to work on a project, let me know. I do, hey Carol, I do contact the designers before unless it's my own project, I do contact the designers before working on a project, just, because they might not want it out there, the whole process live, which is totally understandable because a lot of people have their own videos and all that. So I'll take suggestions, but then I still have to talk to the designer for those, which is great though. And like I said, I love learning. I love trying new things so much, and doing other people's projects and doing these live videos it's just been huge for me learning. And that's like my favorite thing ever, is to learn. Ooh, you want to do the bird embroidery bag from the book? Oh, we might do a whole, I think we should do, I want to do a whole bunch of them from the book. I think that'd be fun. Get some stitching and sewing together, which is what a lot of my projects for my sew and stitch embroidery book is. It's embroidery, but having it be the star of your project. So there is sewing on a lot of them, and oh, that worked perfectly. We are just the right size now. And embroidery in some fun ways. So yeah, the bird would be actually really super fun to do. I kind of want to place this, I know I said from smallest to largest, but I kind of want to place this guy in the middle because this guy is so skinny. I think it'll be easier if I don't have to worry about it later. So I might tuck him on the inside. But I still have to even out the top because we are not tall enough yet here. I just need a tiny, tiny bit. Like, I think this amount will do it. Just double check. Yeah, I think that will do it. So I'm going to just kind of trim it to about the width of this guy. So this is kind of fun. We took the 2 rows and now we're combining it into 1 row with this piece. But yeah, it'd be fun to do some projects from the book. I'm working on a list of next projects because we'll be done with this. We'll keep working on the Splendid Sampler quilt, but all of a sudden it's going to be done. It's going to catch me off guard, I think, and it'll be like, wow, this whole project's done. That's kind of crazy. I have to think ahead now. I haven't had to think ahead on projects for these evening live streams because we've been working so much on the Splendid Sampler. But like I said, the Splendid Sampler is going on again right now, so I do want to do a few of the blocks. And we'll make up some fun things with using those. using blacks. Oh, let's trim this quick. All right. Snip. How do you tie a quilt? Ooh, you know, that might be something fun to play around with. I am currently tying my jean quilt. You know, maybe we work on that a little bit tomorrow as like a little breather from this for a second. And I can work on some of the ties of that quilt. That quilt's going to be done in no time, too. It's kind of crazy. All right, I'm going to match up. I'm going to do it this way. No, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, you saw the animals on the burp cloth. Yeah, isn't that a fun idea? Someone sent me that photo of my... This is going to make a little funny shape, but I'm going to go for it. Of a few of my embroidery designs on burp cloths, and I think that would just be such a fun material to play with, that burp cloth material. I think it's like muslin almost on one side, but then like goofy fuzzy material on the other side, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, they turned out super cute. I do have an embroidery pattern, a new kit that I'd like to do a stitch along for, so I will have more info on that soon. Playing around with another little mini kit, like how we did the bunny stitch along, where we stitch it all live. And oh, and you know what? Ooh, I just thought of this. So I will be probably going to my parents' again soon. Ooh, the frogs might be there this time too, actually, now that I think of it. But, you know, my brother that was here, he is flying out. I'm going to sew this one on right away. He's flying to Australia in a couple weeks, like 2 weeks. So we will probably go to, he's at my parents' house now. He went there after he visited us here. But we're going to go see my parents again and go visit with him one more time before he heads out. But that might be the perfect time for us to sandwich the Splendid Sampler quilt. Because I think I will be done with the back by then. I'm hoping so, since this is my last scrap piece. I just have to start constructing the larger pieces together and get it to the right size. But it would be much easier to sandwich this quilt at my parents' house than at my house, because the biggest floor that I have, my living room floor, is not going to be big enough for the size of this quilt, this extra large queen size quilt. So maybe I'll try and get that, make sure it's done by the time we leave for my parents' house, and film there the sandwiching of the quilt. Because I know some of you asked how I do that, so I might just maybe I'll just have it Facebook Live on, and we'll sandwich the quilt there. That would be so much easier. On their we move their dining room table, and then we can sew, or we can sandwich a quilt there. Okay, I just thought of that plan, and I think it's a good plan. That'll be so much easier. That's been in the back of my head, like, how am I going to lay this quilt on the ground so I can sandwich it? By sandwich it, I've been throwing that term around. If you aren't familiar with that, that just means putting the 3 layers that make a quilt together, basting it together. Basting, which means just holding it temporarily together before we sew it all together. So to do that, I lay the back of the quilt on the floor and I tape it down. Then you put the batting down, that's the second layer, and then you put the front of the quilt down, that's the 3rd layer. And then I have pins. They're called basting pins. They're like safety pins with a little bend in them, just to make it easier to, I don't know, hook through, I guess, to go down and up through all the layers. So I pinned those all over the place, and then the quilt is ready to quilt. All the 3 layers will be held together at that point by all those pins. So that's called sandwiching a quilt. You're sandwiching the batting. I'm going to just trim this. The batting in between all those layers. Or all those, all the front and back layer. All right. Look at this thing. Look at how much is going on in there. I think it is pretty dang fun. Look how thin this line turned out to be. But I love how nothing's equal. Like, it's skinnier there, and then it gets a little wider. I love that all that's okay. And I try to make some sort of flying geese things happen in here with all these extra triangle, half square triangles. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. So this is that technique where we just did the strips, which is similar to what we did here. This is, has some pals there. This is actually almost the same size. Could really sew all of that together, but I think I'll leave them as a couple separate pieces. We did not need much we just needed this piece and this piece to fill this in. They kind of ended up the same size, a lot of these rows, which is kind of serendipitous. I kind of love it. So, all right, that is it. That is all my scraps, except for this little piece, but I think I'll leave this as a finished piece just like this. Here are a few of my other pieces here. This would be cool as a quilt, just all these sewn together, wouldn't it? This would be like a neat little mini quilt. Oh man, I want to do more improv like this. This is just fun. Look at this. That's so cool, all these together. Man, I almost want to ditch my Splendid Sampler quilt, putting these in there to just sew them together. But I'm going to hold off. They belong in the quilt. They're going to go in the quilt. But they are fun as just a mini quilt. I think I'm going to do this again. When I make a quilt again, I'm going to save all the scraps and then stitch them all together like this in a little mini quilt. I kind of love that. I don't know, there's something neat about it. It's the rest. It's the rest of the fabric. It's still it's like leaving something behind if you don't use all the scraps up. So I love this idea of using up the scraps. So, all right, guys, that is it. Last of the scraps. I'm going to flip you guys around, and we will call it. Hey there again, guys. So here we are. All the final little pieces. So that's about how big it is. It's maybe 11 inches by 4.5 inches, maybe, if I had to guess. Fun. Man, I wish my front of the quilt looked a lot like this. I'm going to have to do just an improv on purpose quilt like that. I don't know how you would do it, though. It'd be weird to on purpose cut up pieces to improv with. Like, I like that I had the parameter of the pieces already. They were all scrap sizes, so I didn't have to consciously decide, what size am I going to make this piece? It was just, that was how big the piece is. I think it'd be weird to add that extra thing of cutting pieces to size. I don't know. It'd be something fun to play with again, for sure. I'm glad we played around with it here for the back of my quilt. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to lay these all out on the floor again. I had to clean up the floor when Jared was over, my brother, and now I'll take up the room again and lay out the back of my quilt and try and construct this and see how it goes. So that is the plan. Not sure what we'll do tomorrow night. Maybe we'll work on the back of the quilt if it's manageable size pieces, but maybe we'll do some hand quilting, tying the quilt with my my jean quilt. That might be kind of a fun little thing fun little interlude to this project. But all right, so this will go up on Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube. If you subscribe there, then you can get notified in email when they're available. And it was super nice seeing all you guys again and nice chatting. I love hanging out with all of you. So, all right, I will catch you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night.